Welcome to this special documentary tribute. Today, we explore the life of Frances Jane Crosby, a woman who lived in physical darkness for 94 years, yet left behind a legacy of light that still glows in the hearts of millions. How did a woman, blind from infancy, come to write over 8,000 hymns that are still sung by millions today? In this 15-minute journey, we will trace her path from the rural beauty of New York to the national stage and the selfless service of the Bowery. Our story begins in 1820 in the rural beauty of Putnam County, New York. Born into a world of sight, Fanny's world was forever changed when she was just 6 weeks old due to a tragic medical error. An eye infection led to a local quack doctor prescribing hot mustard poultices. The treatment severely damaged her optic nerves, resulting in permanent blindness. Her father died soon after, leaving her mother and grandmother to raise her. Her grandmother, Eunice, refused to let Fanny live in a world of lack. She believed this was a divine act of providence and became Fanny's eyes, describing the world with such sensory richness that Fanny's mind became a vibrant canvas. At age 8, Fanny wrote her first poem, resolving to be contented despite her blindness. "Oh, what a happy child I am," she wrote. "Although I cannot see, I am resolved that in this world contented I will be." Starting at age 10, Fanny began a rigorous biblical education. By 15, her internal library included the entire Pentateuch, the 4 Gospels, and the Book of Proverbs, an incredible feat of mental architecture. This discipline was the foundation of her future. She learned to hold vast amounts of information in her mind, a skill that would later allow her to compose thousands of songs entirely in her head without ever needing to see a page. In 1835, Fanny enrolled at the New York Institute for the Blind. She would spend the next 23 years there, first as a star student, and then as a respected teacher of grammar, rhetoric, and history. Fanny excelled in all subjects, using early tactile maps and books to navigate the world's geography and history. Her thirst for knowledge was unquenchable, and she soon began teaching others. Despite her brilliance, Fanny had her struggles. She famously loathed mathematics, writing poems to express her frustration. "I loathe, abhor, it makes me sick to hear the word arithmetic." Her heart was always in language and music. She became known as the Blind Poetess. Her fame grew as she published volumes of secular poetry that captured the heart of the nation. She was increasingly called upon to speak and recite her work publicly. In 1844, Fanny became the first woman to address the U.S. Senate, reciting an original poem to lobby for the education of the blind. She became a powerful advocate, meeting 5 U.S. presidents in her lifetime. During the peak of her fame, she met Abraham Lincoln. He was reportedly deeply moved by her spirit and her commitment to her fellow citizens, a meeting that highlighted her standing as a national treasure. One of her most notable transcribers was a 17-year-old Grover Cleveland. They formed a lifelong friendship that continued as he rose to the presidency, with him even writing a recommendation for her later autobiography. As her career flourished, her personal life was marked by both a deep, shared love and a private heartbreak that she would carry with her for decades. These experiences would deeply influence her music. In 1858, she married Alexander Van Alstyne, a fellow blind teacher and a brilliant musician. They shared a world of sound and a deep mutual respect. Alexander even insisted she keep her maiden name for her work. The couple faced a devastating loss when their infant daughter, Frances, passed away shortly after birth. Fanny never spoke of this publicly until her final years, trusting that her tender babe was safe with God. This profound grief eventually flowed into her music. Decades later, she wrote "Safe in the Arms of Jesus," a hymn that has since provided comfort to millions of grieving parents around the world, written in just 30 minutes. Though they remained devoted to each other, Alexander and Fanny eventually followed different paths. He preferred a quiet life of music, while Fanny was increasingly drawn to the mission work of the city. At the age of 44, Fanny's life took a definitive turn. She began her true calling, writing sacred hymns that would define the American gospel style for generations to come. Her output was nothing short of miraculous. She composed between 8,000 and 9,000 hymns, sometimes writing as many as 7 in a single day, all perfectly structured in her mind before they were ever dictated. Fanny was so prolific that publishers asked her to use over 200 pseudonyms so that their hymnals wouldn't appear to be written by just one person. She became the foundation of modern congregational singing. Her most beloved hymn, Blessed Assurance, was born when her friend Phoebe Knapp played a melody and asked, "Fanny, what does this melody say to you?" Fanny immediately replied with those timeless words. Her hymn, All the Way My Savior Leads Me, was inspired by a moment of financial desperation. After praying for rent money, a stranger appeared and handed her exactly $5, a moment she saw as divine leading. Fanny believed that every melody was waiting for its mate. She would listen to a tune until the words simply flowed, interpreting the tale that she believed the music was already telling. Fanny could hold up to 12 completed hymns in her memory at once. She would wait until a transcriber was available and then dictate them all, perfectly polished in a single sitting, sometimes dictating 40 in one day. Fanny's lyrics defined the gospel style, songs of personal testimony and heartfelt connection. Her words moved from the printed page to the voices of millions in mass camp meetings and churches. In her 60s, Fanny's focus shifted from the fame of the concert hall to the grit of the slums. She moved to the Bowery district of Manhattan to serve the poor and the destitute. She lived in a simple flat, choosing to live among those she served. She became a fixture at the Bowery Mission and the Macaulay Water Street Mission, where she was known affectionately as Auntie Fanny. Fanny would sit for hours listening to the stories of the homeless and the addicted. She believed that saved souls were more important than beautiful songs, and her hymns were often written to reach those very people. She wrote, "Rescue the Perishing," after hearing a young man cry out for his mother at a mission. That night, she couldn't sleep until the words were written to encourage others to reach out to the lost. Fanny lived on the edge of poverty herself because she gave away almost everything she earned to the missions. She famously said she would rather be remembered as a mission worker than a hymn writer. For Fanny, her life was her most powerful song. She saw her work in the streets as the true fulfillment of her calling, using her music to bridge the gap between faith and the reality of the human condition. Fanny spent her final years in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Even in her 90s, she remained active, writing and encouraging others with the same unwavering spirit she had shown as a child. Fanny Crosby passed away in 1915 at the age of 94. Her death marked the end of an era, but her songs were only just beginning their global journey into the 20th and 21st centuries. Her funeral was the largest ever held in the city of Bridgeport. Thousands came to honor the woman who had given them words to express their own deepest feelings, a testament to her profound impact. Her tombstone carries a simple inscription, "She hath done what she could." It is a profound summary of a life dedicated to using every gift she had for the benefit of others, no matter the cost. Today, over 100 million copies of her hymns have been sold worldwide. From grand cathedrals to small rural missions, her songs continue to be sung in hundreds of languages every Sunday. In a remarkable irony, the woman who could not see the sun gave vision to generations of sighted people, helping them see the beauty and hope in their own lives through her words. Fanny's legacy continues to inspire young and old alike. Her life remains a powerful example of how one individual, regardless of their circumstances, can leave an indelible mark on the world. Fanny Crosby's life teaches us that our limitations are only as large as our spirits allow them to be. She chose to see with her heart, and in doing so, she changed the world forever. Thank you for joining me on this 15-minute journey through her remarkable life. May you always find your own inner vision and keep singing your own song. Goodbye for now.